Hello and welcome to Science with me, Mrs. Nye. This week we are continuing with our life cycle topic and we will be looking at the life cycle of a reptile. Just before we do, I want to just clarify and clear up a few little misconceptions that have arisen from our task the past couple of weeks, and just to kind of go over what a life cycle is. So all animals, including humans, we're born, we get older, some will go on to have children of their own, and in the end all animals die, but those animals that have had their children, they then get bigger, they then get older, and then the life cycle continues, and that's why it goes round and round and round, which is some of the activities that we have been looking at in the past couple of weeks with mammals and birds. Okay, so to get our science brains working and our brains thinking, you'll see three images on the screen coming up. And first of all, I want you to think about the similarities and differences between the three pictures. So jot down or write down, maybe tell whoever's with you at home, all the things that are similar and different about the three images to start off with. Okay, now I want you to consider which one is the odd one out. But you have to explain your choice. Now, there is no right or wrong answer. Any of these can be the odd one out. So another little challenge as well, if you want to have it, is to explain why each one of the pictures is the odd one out. So, as I said, this week we are focusing on reptiles. So, first of all, I want you to have a little think and just remind yourselves about what a reptile is. So if you can write down all of the things that you remember about reptiles, and even write down some names of some reptiles as well. Okay, so a reptile is a cold-blooded animal, which means that they use the heat from their surroundings to keep warm. They lay eggs, but some can give birth to live young. They are vertebrates, so they have backbone. And some of them, examples of some reptiles include lizards, snakes, tortoises, turtles, crocodiles, and alligators. So usually between kind of like the end of April, May into July, the female usually digs a nest underground in the soil, makes a burrow entrance, and she'll deposit anywhere between 1 and 14 eggs, and these eggs look like little ping pong balls. The female will then bury the egg, and then she will just leave. After about 3 months, the hatchlings break out of the shell, and the yolk sac provides nourishment even after hatching. So sometimes on the little tortoises you'll see the yolk sac still on them, and as soon as they're born they kind of use that for nourishment as well. They kind of break out of the shell, and they are the size of about a 50p piece. They are really, really, really small. The temperature when the eggs are being incubated, so when they're dug underground, or buried, underground, will determine whether the tortoise is a male or a female. So cooler incubation temperatures produce male tortoises, and the warmer the temperature, the likelihood it will be a female. And they can be determined on the size of their tail. So smaller tails are females. Tortoises grow quite slowly, and their bones develop under the layer of scutes. By the time the tortoise is about 5 years old, the bone is well developed and the shell is hard. So tortoises may live to be 60 to 100 years old, and they all kind of vary in size depending on the breed. So I don't know if you've ever been to Colchester Zoo. There's some huge tortoises there, and the ones I have in my garden are not so big, luckily. And just to let you know a bit of a vocabulary there, I mentioned under the scute, and that is the kind of bony plate that's on top of the tortoise's shell, or on the back of a crocodile if you were talking about a crocodile. So I hope you enjoyed your science lesson, learning all about the life cycle of a tortoise. Your task now is to create a life cycle, so draw a diagram, label the different stages of a reptile, so you can choose the life cycle of a tortoise that we've done and learnt this afternoon, or you can choose a different reptile to research. It's entirely up to you. You can complete it on paper. If you do that, just email or tweet it in to me, I'd love to see it, or I've set up a purple mesh to do for you to do it on there. I have put some links to some websites and some resources on the school website in our science tab, and I've also uploaded a little mini game called Guess the Reptile for you to play at home. Just a fun little activity, especially while the weather's not great. It might be quite nice for you to do at home with everyone. So take care, keep safe everybody.